Hi, this is Ross Randall with the Lamar County School District. I want to take a minute and walk you through a new student registration. This will be for families who have students that are new to the district and families that are new to the district. We do all of our registration in Active Parent. If you're new to the district, you will not have an Active Parent account, so we're going to go through that process. So from our district webpage, you're going to click on Active Parent, and you're going to click on Create an Active Parent Account, Start New Registration. You're going to read through this information, and then you're going to fill in your first name, your last name, your address, you're going to put in a phone number, and you're going to put in a valid email address. And then you're going to pick a username. Username can be anything you want it to be. Make sure to use something that you'll remember. A lot of people forget it. And then select the password, whatever you want it to be. And then you're going to click Create User. At this point, you'll have the option to log in now or return to login page. Let's click Login Now. We can verify the information that we just entered. And it tells you here the online student registration page is accessible through the paper pencil icon in the top right. That's what we're going to click right here. And since you don't have a student already in the system, we're going to select Want to create a new registration without a code. At this point, you're going to select your school. If you're not sure which school zone you live in, you can go to our website, click on School Locator, and put in your address, and it'll tell you what zone you live in. So come back here and select your school. Put in your student's first name and your student's last name. And then you're going to pick a birthday. And then you're going to create the registration. When you get back to this page, simply select the student that you just added from the drop-down. You're going to select New Student Registration under the registration type. And you're starting the registration now. Be sure to read every paragraph in this registration process. It's very important. We had to add a lot of information about COVID. It's very important that you understand all of this information. And then you're going to click Begin Registration. So there are 9 sections to this registration. It doesn't take very long to go through. Since you are a new student, you will be adding a lot of information. This first page is just demographic information. There is a section down here where you're going to have to choose whether you plan on sending your child to school for a traditional class or whether you'll be keeping your child at home for a virtual class. You are a new student to us, but you still have this option to choose one of these. You also will have to agree and acknowledge that you understand this statement right here that talks about what we'll have to do if you decide to keep your child home for a virtual class. Make sure to read that and select this. You'll fill out every bit of information that has an asterisk. That is required. And then click Next Step. This next page is the student's address and phone number, and this is where you will upload your proofs of residency. Read through this information very carefully. If you have any questions, you can contact the school that you are registering with. They will be able to help you if you have any questions. You will be uploading a minimum of 2 documents based on the information here. You will click Add New Address. This will be the address where the student resides. Be sure to enter all of this information and select address type, which will be residence. You have to include at least one residence address. If your mailing address is different than the residency address, then please add a second address and mark that as mailing address. You will add in the primary phone number of the household. This may be the parent's phone number or maybe your landline. And then here's where you upload your residency proofs. Most of the time that's going to be a utility bill. and some type of mortgage document. You can scan those if you have a scanner. If you do not have a scanner, you can simply use your phone to take a picture, or a digital camera to take a picture of it, and then take that picture file, and you can upload that here. You select residency documents, and then you will select upload new file, and you'll select the file here from your computer to upload. Put in the name of the file and then select upload file. You'll need to do that for each document that you upload. The next page is the birth certificate information. For all new students, we require the birth certificate number and the birth city, state, county, and country. We also require you to upload your student's birth certificate. Again, this can be scanned, or it can be captured with a digital camera or your cell phone, and then you can upload that picture file. For all incoming kindergartners, if you are a registered kindergarten student, we ask that you complete this early childhood program information. This information is required by us to send to the state. And so you'll simply select what type of child care your student prior to kindergarten had. If you select anything other than family, friend, or home, then you will need to add an address in this program location. Please add a complete address with the address, the city, the state, and the zip. And then the name of the program can go here. The next page is your immunization information. For all new students, we do require you to upload all of your immunization documents. So please, again, scan, capture, take a picture, take that file and upload it here. There's also a form here that our nurses usually complete at on-site registration. Since we're not having on-site registration, they ask that you click this link here, which will open up in a new page. Print this, complete it, and then sign it here, and then re-upload that form back under medical documents. If for some reason you're unable to do this right now, you can return it at the beginning of school. If we have any students, new students, that we do not have that form on, then you'll be contacted and have to complete that form at some point when school starts. It's very important that we get this information. Also, you can include any medical conditions that is relevant to your student. You just select add new condition, choose from the drop down, and then add any notes, and then you'll add the condition. And then this is permission for us to give medical treatment in the event that we cannot contact any of the emergency contacts. And this gives us permission to provide medical transport in the event that there's an emergency at school and no one can be reached. Please check both of those and click next step. This is a page with permissions. There's several permissions that we need you to either say yes or no to. Also, we include the student handbook and a parent-guardian consent and release for video audio conferencing. The parent handbook is not a new agreement, although it's new that it's in registration. We usually have those signed at the beginning of school. For this one, simply click this link to view the handbook. Once you've reviewed all the information, you can close that tab, navigate back to the registration, and then you can select, I have read the student handbook and agree to the policies. The second one is the audio video conferencing. We need this in the event that we have to close schools and we go to a virtual classroom where the parent will be communicating with the student through video conferencing. Also, if you choose to keep your child home and opt for the virtual classroom instead of the traditional, this will also serve as a agreement for that. Simply click this link, read through this information. When you close it, you'll go back to the page, and then you select that you have read and agreed to that. Once you've completed that, you click next. This is where you'll enter your parent and guardian and contact information. We do require at least one contact to be marked with resides with, and I'll show you what that looks like. If you add a new parent or guardian, any place that there's a red asterisk, that will be required. First name, last name, the relationship, And then be sure to mark resides with student if this contact lives with the student. You can also mark emergency contact if this contact needs to be notified in case of an emergency. And also if this contact is allowed to check in or out the student. You'll add a new address for this contact. Please fill out all the information. You'll add a phone number for this contact. If you're entering a phone that can receive text messages, I do ask that you select cellular so that we know that that is a device that, or a phone that is capable of receiving text messages. This AIM call and AIM text, that is our mass communication system. If you select both of these, then this phone number will be set up to receive emergency or notification calls and or texts. And we do require a valid email address on all contacts that are resides with. Please enter a valid email address, and just like the phone number, select that this email can receive notifications from our system. Once you have all of this complete, be sure to hit the save button over here so that it'll save this contact's information. And then you can go add a new one. You can add as many contacts as you wish in this, but just be sure to fill out all the information and mark the correct contact. For our students that are in 6th grade and up, and if they have a cell phone, we're asking that you add that student in as a contact, and you can select student as the contact information. Fill out the information and then make sure that we have their phone number. That will be used by our teachers to communicate with our students, grades 6 through up, through our secure text messaging service. That all of that is recorded, and it's a great way for them to communicate. In the past, we've used products like Remind and other things for this. We would love to be able to have this in our system so that we can utilize the tools that we already have. This is not mandatory. If you choose not to do that, just don't add them. It's fine. The next step is the information about dismissals. It also, every new student that we have coming in the district, unless they're kindergarten students, we're required to have a transcript and or the last report card from the previous school uploaded or handed in. So please scan or take a picture of that one and upload the transcript or last report card for those students. Also, if your student was at a previous school and they were receiving services under an IEP or 504, please let us know that. That'll help us greatly to expedite getting their records. The next step is some surveys. All new students have to complete home language, migrant, and McKinney-Vento surveys. And then this last section here is information about your internet access at home. This has become a vital thing as we've had to do lessons from home. And if we have to do that in the future, we need to know this. This will help us with determining what type of services we can offer. So select my family has a reliable internet connection or my family does not. If you do have one, the next question asks you what type. And if you don't have one, then this question asks why. And then if you do not have one and you have to drive to get internet access, just let us know how far you have to drive, whether you have to go to the school or to a library or a friend's house. And then this is the last page. On this page, we have a link to our free and reduced lunch application. If you need to fill this out, just click this link. It'll open up in a new tab. And when that opens, go ahead and navigate back to the previous tab. And let's go ahead and finish this registration before you fill out the lunch application. So you'll select that I confirm all information is accurate, and then you will just simply enter your name. If there are any required fields that you missed during this process, when you click Save and Finish, it will show you what you're missing. So since I didn't fill anything out, it's going to have everything. But for you, it would show just what you're missing. So if I, for some reason, I forgot to put the last name on the student, then it would take me back to this page and I could fill it out. So I can go back through, make sure that every space that has an asterisk has a selection or something in that box. When you do have everything and you click Save and Finish, it will tell you at the top that you have successfully completed the registration process. At that point, you're finished. Now you can't go back then and click on the Lunch App tab and then complete this. It helps us a lot when everybody completes this. That is the registration process for a new student. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the school that you are registering with. And we hope that this process is seamless for you. And we thank you so much.